Mexico City, one of the cool things I like about this town is that on Sundays they close down a lot of the major streets and open it up for bicycles, rollerblades, skates, whatever you want to do with two wheels that doesn't involve a motor, you can do it. So it encourages exercise, but it also cuts down on the pollution in the city, which I think is fantastic. Mexico City has been around since about 1521, when it was taken over by some of the Spanish, and before that it belonged to the Aztecs. Across the street from my hotel and right by this road you just saw is an outdoor street market, which is fantastic. You can buy all kinds of pirated bootleg movies and fake Ray-Ban sunglasses, or clothing, jewelry, just about anything you're looking for, you can find it in this market. And so they don't really like too many videos or pictures, but I kind of walked through with my phone in front of me, and wanted to kind of check that out before I went downtown. So I decided to take the subway downtown to the major cathedral. Now, this cathedral was built in the early 1500s. You're about to see it there. Yeah, it's been around for a long, long time. It was built by the Spanish. This is basically when Mexico City came into existence. It's a beautiful cathedral. It's ornate. It's got this incredible pipe organ that was beautiful to see. I actually got to hear it because they were having Sunday Mass, and they did allow people to come in and tour even during Mass, so that was kind of cool to see. But what I really wanted to see was the Temple Mayor, which is translates as the major temple, or the major or the large pyramid, because one of the things that they discovered much later, and it was about in the early 1900s, they discovered that there was a huge Aztec pyramid underneath the cathedral. So in the early 1900s, about 1930, archaeologists wanted to excavate, but they weren't really sure where to look. So from about 1933 to about 1966, they looked around and they didn't find much, and public interest really wasn't there, because there was a lot of upscale neighborhoods in the area. So it just sort of floundered around until about 1978, when they made a major discovery, which we'll talk about in a second. But I want you to look at this right here. See the cathedral up in the top now, and see the excavation in front of you? All right, so now look, this is what it was. So this was the major temple. You can see it down below. So you can see where the cathedral is in relation to the Great Pyramid, which they are digging down and trying to find things. So actually, this is quite recent. So in 1978, they made a major discovery. We'll talk about that in a second. But as part of that, they really actually figured out where this pyramid was, and so they started finding all these artifacts. That was a knife used for sacrifices. These are other items that they found, and so they really, from that period, they started finding a lot of really cool things. But going back to 78, the major discovery, so there was some guys who worked for the local electric company, and they were digging for lines, and then they discovered this pre-Hispanic monolith, which turned into this huge disc that was about 10 feet across. So you're seeing it here on your screen. They're showing you the different pieces. They're highlighting it with lights, but I was above it looking down. But essentially, it represents a disembodied person who was sacrificed to one of the Aztec gods. But although that's not so cool, it really is impressive to see this. So this was really the linchpin that made all these other discoveries possible. And again, it was discovered by the electric company as they were digging for lines. So we left there and walked down the street. These are just some cool streets that are straight out of Uncharted video games, which I love. And so we kind of went back over to the hotel area where there was a huge outdoor scene where they were playing an opera for people to look at just for free, just for something fun to do on a Sunday afternoon. And so then I kind of stopped by this major monument that I thought would be a great way to end this video. So anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. Miss my family, and I will be home Friday. So rock on.